Israel this Saturday is continuing to strike targets across Lebanon, including an apartment building in a densely populated northern Beirut suburb that had also been struck a day earlier. Lebanese health authorities also reporting that an overnight Israeli strike killed a dozen medical staff at a clinic in the south of the country. On a visit to Lebanon that began on Friday, UN Chief Antonio Guterres calling on Israel and the Iran-backed group Hezbollah to stop the war. He also launched a $325 million humanitarian appeal to support Lebanon, where hundreds of thousands of people have now been displaced. Let's hear from some Beirut residents now.
I
was woken up at 4 a.m. yesterday and I heard the sound of a drone really close. And at 4:40 a.m. there was a strong explosion. The dust and rocks landed on our balcony. It was big, and today, the same thing.
Now we're really scared. There's no safety. You don't even know if you can go out for a short trip safely because you don't know where the next strike will hit. I'm sleeping in my car with my daughter and granddaughter because we're so scared. It's better to sleep in the car instead of getting hit by debris like this.
Well, for more on what's happening in Lebanon right now, we can cross live to Beirut to speak with France 24 senior reporter Catherine Norris-Trent. Catherine, what more can you tell us about Israel's strikes on Lebanon this Saturday?
There have been more deadly strikes here in Lebanon, across the country. So once again, people waking up here and finding out that there have been deadly airstrikes. One, Israel's Health Ministry said, killed 12 health workers on an attack in a medical facility in the south, in a place named as Burj al-Qawiya. And in fact, the Health Ministry is saying 26 health workers have been killed since this conflict erupted into Lebanon on March the 26th. That includes members of the Lebanese Red Cross, people who'd been going to the site of a strike. So there are investigations taking place into whether there have actually been any double tap strikes which could be targeting health workers. So that's just one of the deadly incidents. I mean, they've been across the country. In the town of Sidon, too, a number of people killed there in a deadly strike. And here in Beirut, there was another Israeli targeted strike, it seems, on a building in a northern residential area of the capital, Nabaa, Burj Al Hamoud. And that was a building which had actually been struck the day before, with residents saying that it was largely empty. So we're not quite sure what's going on there, but it just shows that this is widening out now, not just to the southern suburbs of Beirut, but also to areas of the capital in the centre, and a lot of firepower going off, airstrikes going off in the south. The Israeli army has also warned that it will be targeting trucks coming along the coastal road. So basically anyone driving a lorry or a truck could be a target. Israel has ordered people across like 14% of Israel's territory in the south to evacuate. But now they put out a specific warning, about for truck drivers. The Israeli army suspect they could be carrying weapons for Hezbollah. So more warnings of strikes to come.
And Catherine, you've recently been in the southern Lebanese city of Tyre, subject to Israel's sweeping evacuation order. Can you tell us what you found there?
Well, it's a very tense atmosphere down in the south of Lebanon. Indeed, Tyre was at least Lebanon's fifth largest city. Now, a lot of people have fled. We found lots of people still there, though, who were remaining defiant, and many of them telling us they didn't want to flee the south at all, that they would stay and resist. So clearly a lot of sympathy for Hezbollah down there. And the city had been coming under pretty heavy airstrikes. We saw dozens of buildings which had been completely destroyed. So that was things like including branches of the Al-Qa'd Al-Hassan Bank, which is a bank linked to Hezbollah, a credit union. Israel accuses it of being basically bankrolling Hezbollah's military operations. So we saw at least two branches of Al-Qa'd Al-Hassan which had been completely destroyed, also an electricity power plant now. So Israel has been warning that it will hit infrastructure. We saw some of that that as well. And we heard the roar of warplanes overhead, presumably Israeli, and smoke rising on the hills around the city of Tyre. Hezbollah, meanwhile, saying that they would keep up fighting and that they were continuing to fire rockets out of that southern area around the city into northern Israel.
Catherine Norris-Trent reporting live there from Beirut. Thank you very much.